You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the September 26th meeting of the Long Beach Park Board. You can find more information for this meeting at www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Okay, it is,
Dr. Bailey out there anywhere?
I don't see anybody out there. I think the one participant's me, but I'll double check. Nope, but I'll know if somebody pops up. Okay, so this is the September, I can't believe it's September 26th Park Board meeting. We did not have a meeting last month, so the minutes we're approving, and everybody's here for the record. The minutes we are approving would be from July 25th. Is everybody good with the July 25th minutes?
I move to approve.
Get a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That's everybody. All right, minutes approved. So might be a short meeting today. We don't have a lot to discuss. So we'll see. We'll see if we can have a record here today. So activities coordinator update. I will skip that as Sarah's not with us.
He gave me her
Okay.
report. Let me pull it up here. Okay, first Saturday Arts continues to be a success. The October class is full. 15 out of 15 spots were filled. Play 101 class, which is new, has 9 out of 10 spots filled. Today is day 4 of 6, and the participants are loving it. They've already received inquiries about future clay offerings, looking to make this a quarterly option. Looking toward the holidays, planning a cookies decorating class, family and kid oriented. After the new year, a one-time bingo event. The occurring option was not successful. Hoping for a better response with a one-time offering, as these have been the most successful seasonally. Sarah is going to change her office hours. I think they were Monday mornings and Thursday afternoons. Now it's going to be Monday and Friday mornings from 8:30 to 9:30. People aren't knocking down the door over there during her office hours.
Yeah,
But, they can call any of us if anyone wants to use it. And, her office hours will change as her schedule with her kids changes. So they may need to change again as the year progresses. And that's it.
All right.
I have one thing that probably would go in here. This is kind of related to summer camp and the activities coordinator, and I didn't have it on the agenda.
Okay.
Just a heads up, we have a small invoice. It's probably in a way going to be like a wash for the town. Just to remind everybody, when we did the EVP volleyball program, 80% of the registration fee goes to EVP and the town gets back 20%. So that money is owed to us, and he's going to get those books. That I think there was about 80 participants. I'm not sure. And then there's a small invoice for right around $200, just for we had new the net, the purchase net and the poles and stuff, and then also we had new basketball rooms. So it's going to sort of be a wash by the time they pay us back for the participant fee, and then we won't obviously have to purchase nets again going forward, but. That should be in. It'll definitely be in by the end of the year, but hopefully within like a week.
Yeah, that's not a problem. We still got
Okay.
Did you say about 80 participants?
Yeah, but
Okay.
I don't know if you put that in the minutes because I didn't even write that down. It just was in my head, and I might be wrong about that. We were talking on the phone. Ross has had some pretty serious health issues, and so he's going to send it all to me in an email. In my head, that's what I thought that he had said, but I may be wrong about that. Maybe more, maybe less, but I would hate to quote it wrong. Okay, I'm done. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Anything else on activities?
No.
Okay. Janice, you're up.
events, you know, that there's a potential of putting the Presby Mound in the land across the street. The impact to the beach garden club will be one of the, well, actually, it's that's Kelly's class garden will need to be moved, but we are going to contact the landscape designer and make sure that that is moved to the right place and that will be covered by the town. Which gardens that opens, and planning two gardens at the community center at the flagpole underneath to put something nice there. Hopefully, future events, the 4th of July, there will be something there, and also the tournaments sign. So Joyce said that would make it easier for mowing and as well as there's the wood split back, what's that? Split rail, yeah. That's annual triangular curve, and do some more plantings there just to address that area. I need to get Joe's, and her, and service state is going to add to trend of the area. The beachside gardens donated, Diane does a bunch of loans to us, so we'll take those. We've decorations with a lot of this trunk or treat is at the community center, concentrate there, so people are able to enjoy that. And as well as the estimates for the region of the park are coming in with thousands, and we enjoy this. You guys share that with us, and I submitted all of my documents.
Awesome. Thanks, great, thanks, Janice.
Thank you so much for willing to spend your money.
Thank you.
It looks really good. Stop 24, I'm not a gentleman. I'm sorry, I didn't call about this.
It's okay. I was waiting for him to get back to me on something at stop 30 and he didn't either. I think he was overwhelmed and there's sort of been that budget issue with being shorted our money. So I don't know what his labor, we have his labor, but other than that, so it may be something we'll have to.
Yeah, that we can put in for the fall.
Okay. Okay. Awesome.
Okay, so stop update, we were talking about stop 21 and 23 forever. That rail work has been done now. So really the only stop work we have ongoing right now at this point is the stop 1588 project. So Joy, I'll open it up to you on this one.
You guys are here for stop 15, right? Yeah, I would like to give you this. It's on the top of that. Oh, thanks. Thank you.
We're here in this more and more marketing. Daily, working on it's
Nice to see you guys. Okay, I got a letter from Jeff. Oh, that doesn't bad. No, not bad. So I heard from Jeff when we were down there and we were with the residents and we at first discussed concrete, and nobody really liked the idea of concrete. So I got this letter from Jeff to follow up with a draft of the pre-proposal for the grant. He reached out to 2 different boardwalk companies to obtain budgetary pricing. Whipcraft, which is this image right here, which is wood. But they have many wood options, but this is the app, just a picture of what Jeff sent. Gave a price that looks like it'll fall within the town's $150,000 budget. The product is wood decking on top of a steel frame. Franciscan Hospital of Michigan City used this in their wetland area and it turned out really well. The project estimate of probable cost with Whipcraft is around $165,000 for the faux wood product. That gives a nice cushion for the $300,000 max for the project cost when the project goes out to bid. And half of that, we only have to match half if we get the grant. The second company was Permatrack, the concrete board walker that he presented at one, Kendra, you and I met with the Dailies and other residents down there. Their product would be more durable and less overall maintenance, but much more expensive. The project estimate and probable cost with Permatrack is around $315,000, which is really over the town's budget. You know, I can't say that for sure, but I mean, it's never going to come in lower than what they say, trust me. So when they say it's going to be 150, you know, we had to build a big cushion in there. And so Jeff did provide, it's about time to put in the grant proposal. So he has to decide which product we would like to use. I really think we should personally go with the wood product because of cost. You know, it's very unobtrusive. There's nothing tall or in the way, or it looks kind of natural. A lot of our other stuffs have wood on them. And so that would be my suggestion. And we also could have the town staff perform some jobs where we could get an in-kind donation. So, for example, if we have Tom remove and store the benches, because they won't be up at the top anymore, they'll be moved down to the very end. They could store the benches and then relocate them. That would save some money. There's some electrical wiring there, I believe, that's no longer functioning, that needs to be removed. I think Tom and his staff could do that. The lawn irrigation, we're gonna have to work that out because that will have to be moved out of the way.
That's not ours though, is it?
No,
That's neighboring
but the
property.
neighbors used it, because they took care of the.
Yeah, they mowed it, they mow it too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they've always taken care of it.
Yeah.
We'll come out with some agreement with the neighbors, to move it around or rework it or whatever we
sure.
would need to do. And I think Tom and those guys could do that. Removal of the glass forbidden sign and replacing it if we need it in a different spot. And, the last thing was there was an existing concrete pad where the trash containers used to be. It's not in the way of anything. It could be removed if we don't want it, or it could be a possible place for a bike rack or something in the future. But if it needs to be removed, maybe the cost for that could go to Tom as well.
Okay.
And that's where we're at with that. So I don't know what you guys think about the product.
Do you know if can that wood be replaced? Can it be re-bolted or, fixed onto the metal underneath it? Eventually that wood is gonna need to be replaced,
Right,
15 years, however long it is.
right. And I think it can be taken off of the metal that it's attached to and just replaced.
Replaced to the,
On the back of everybody's sheet, you'll see it's in two pieces because the area is so long. I don't think we'll have to take out any of the neighbor's shrubbery or anything like that. They can work around that. And you can see where the two benches are replaced down by the beach there, after the break line. And it's just really a very simple design.
I have been on the path that they did at Franciscan, and it's beautiful.
Is it?
Yeah, it's really, it's really nicely done, and, I've been on it probably 5 or 6 times, so it's very nicely done. Yeah, it's really pretty.
So it's really nice.
Oh, is it? Yeah, it looks nice.
And if you need more information about woodcraft, I can set you up with our engineer.
Awesome.
What do you guys think?
Where's the, by the hospital?
It's right on the entrance. It's when you go down that long path. There's deer. I've seen deer there, turkeys. It's a beautiful area to walk the path. Yeah, it's really nice.
You're asking.
Yeah.
Why is it? Between here and the mountains, this seems like the best option that you're presenting.
Yeah, I think it looks nice and we're, for once, luck out that it's the most attractive option with the best price. That never seems to happen.
Yeah.
It's usually opposite.
I'm in favor of wood, definitely,
Now,
over concrete.
if we can get all these trees.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
So down at the end is, we're seeing one, so that one is the separate platform than three, right?
One, yes.
That's where you.
Yeah, but I'm looking at the thing up there. It's the proposed 7-foot wide, 6-foot clear elevated,
Oh, yeah, I didn't see that up there, but I'm gonna struggle reading that anyway.
50 feet or less boardwalk.
Not that small.
Okay, and then 15 is,
15, passive interpretive.
no, that's signage. 2 is proposed.
Yeah.
16.
Passive interpretive signage is 15.
So that's an overlook. And can you get from that? I mean, I'm having a hard time gauging how.
This is down at the bottom, this is going to incorporate access for the town vehicles to get onto the beach.
And how's that gonna happen? So that's gonna be, you're just gonna continue on from 1 north?
There's gonna be some, yeah, from one, I don't know how Jeff's gonna actually design the final thing, but,
So there's no, right now, there's no sheer wall of sand. I mean, that could change, obviously.
yeah,
Okay.
where the stand is could change it.
And is the wood platform gonna support ATV I know it's not gonna be traffic.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
it will support ATV traffic, and the reason it's so wide is for the ATV.
okay. And 5 are benches, got it. And what are those 3 things? Is that just like support? Maybe
3 things.
3 squares that are on the overlook?
Oh.
This was represent.
I don't know.
Like where you would sit,
Seating maybe, or
like a possible, that we were talking about.
a wheelchair slot, I don't know.
It's a funicular, so it'll
Yeah.
just take us up and down.
And then what happens at the top? Usually, looks like you've got 1 parking
At
spot.
the top, there's only gonna be 1 parking space. They'll remove the benches from up at the top and relocate them down to the bottom. And that's it, really. We have that existing concrete pad if you wanted to put a bike rack there, but we're not encouraging anyone to park here or, you know, anything like that.
So the parking, even though it's gonna be ADA access, even though it's gonna be, wheelchair accessible, it's still gonna be a 10-minute loading and unloading zone?
No,
Okay,
they can stay there
while they're down there.
while they're down there.
So that is gonna be different for us. Because, yeah, if they're driving themselves, it's the one that's gonna be able to work.
Yeah.
Right, okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. So we're gonna have to have some sort of signage down there about that.
Yeah,
Like
like be
handicap.
respectful and polite and, you
Well,
know,
can it just be
Can't.
purely a handicap parking only?
yes,
And they have to have a badge, period?
yes.
So there is no loading, unloading, it is a
Just a
handicap?
handicap parking space.
Okay, that's easier to manage.
I think we could easily just put on a sign, the handicap sticker must be present or whatever,
Yeah.
handicap parking only, and then the police will be aware too.
I just still want there to be big signage,
Right.
you know, I just want, right now, the beauty of that stop to me is it's so
Yeah,
nondescript, you know, it's just sort of there, and I don't wanna turn it into this
right, it's very,
big marked.
Right.
But if it is marked handicap park only, I mean,
Yeah.
the police will know, and if someone wants to bring someone there, that's another issue where they can call, figure it out.
Mhm.
yeah,
And bigger fines for that too, you know?
Yeah.
It's not just leaving your car for 15 minutes instead of 10. It's probably a pretty large fine in this county for parking in a handicap spot.
Yeah, I think you were saying that, looking at all the activity that the staff do, because we have some kind of indication is, handicap only and no loading and unloading. Because obviously there's loading zones turn out to be parking spots.
Mhm.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
Let's take the spot for some of the community handicap opens.
yeah,
Yeah, totally agree. I mean, police are doing a much better job policing that than we ever have done in the years, but that point is well taken. We'll do something polite and pointed, strictly handicap parking only, that's it. And then, I don't think I want to paint the street with it unless we have to, but I'd rather not. The asphalt. So
So does that everything Jeff needs, and we just needed to kind of approve it and tell him the wood is our preferred, and then he can go on the next step to.
right. This is just a pre-proposal. It's not, nothing is set in stone. This is just to see if they want us to move forward with an actual proposal, if our project is worthy.
Gotcha.
So that's where we're at. And then the actual proposal, if we get accepted, I think is December, January, that timeframe.
Okay. Great, thanks, Troy.
Thank you.
Do we have to vote on that to move it to the next stage or not? It's already
we're not spending money on it yet, right?
Yeah.
So,
continue on with the project.
Yeah.
Okay.
but nobody disagrees with the wood, doesn't sound like. So,
Right.
okay.
So we don't need a motion for anything,
I don't think so.
I don't think so, we've already talked about it, okay.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it.
And you're welcome to join, or, no offense if you want to take off. It won't be a long meeting, but you're welcome to stay. Okay, while we're on stops, just a quick question. We talked about landscaper. Can Seth do things with split rail fences that are falling apart?
I don't know for sure, but I can ask. I don't want
I think it would be a nothing job for him, but like Brian used to just do it.
Yeah.
Like stop 24, one of the planks is falling down. It's easy thing to fix, but if he could just like go to all the stops and see if the split rail fencing looks good,
Okay.
done, it won't take him any time at all. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're saying though, but already at 24, you.
24, there's one that's been down for a while. Yeah, just kind of ugly right at the street. And I'm sure, if I asked, I'm sure Tom would fix it too.
I'll ask that.
Okay, let's talk about encroachments of stop 29. So I don't have you guys have pictures of the stop. We had a survey from before. It's probably in your notes. If you've got notes, I've got it here somewhere. No, I did. Anyway, don't go here. Okay, so, I met with the property owner to the west of the stop, and that's who has done the encroachments to the stop. And I've got, for those of you online, sorry, you're not gonna be able to see this, but I've got drawn up here a little bit what we talked about on, I guess, Friday of last week. This is the property. This is our property, the way it looks on Beacon. It's all marked up now. We've had a survey done. This is the boardwalk that runs all the way down. This is the left turn to get down to the beach. This squiggly is the rock revetment. These are the trees that are planted. It's not 9, it's something around 9 trees. There's some rocks that were placed around the base of trees as well, just some river rock, simple river rock. This is his parking area here. And then this dotted line is the easement that he was given by the town for him building the boardwalk back when that was built. So he's got this permanent easement here, and that's where his parking extends to today. This here is a very tall, like 7-foot tall rock wall. So it is also right where the property lines are marked. So if you go out there today, the stake is actually sitting on the corners of that existing wall, like right on the corners. There's a stake on the beach, a stake on the beach, and then stakes here. So it's pretty clear to see where the property line goes from the edge of his wall to the beach. And so what I told him is that we want a fence from here to here. So from the base of his wall to the rock revetment, He didn't like the idea of it being split rail, but then I told him the fence is gonna be low. I told him to go look at all of our other split rail fences. They're all fairly low, they're not obtrusive. But I told him if he has other ideas of how he wants that to look, as long as they're not more expensive than split rail, we can talk through that with them. Not a big deal for us.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yes.
How detailed do you want these minutes to be?
I can help you with that later.
Okay.
So I think it needs to be spelled out fairly clearly what we want to happen. And I'll help you. I could do that.
Otherwise, I don't want to not get it.
Yeah, can do that. Excuse me. The purpose of this visit was to hone in and get closer to a final resolution on what we want him to do and what we intend to do. I told him we want to define the property line between his property and our property, the town's property. So this fence here does that. I don't personally think we should be asking to put a fence here in front of this rock, or in front of this wall, this block wall, because it's already tall enough. It'll be right up against it. It'll look silly, to be frank. I just don't see the point. And then that would stop. So really, we're just talking about one north-south fence. The revetment is the fence line over here. We talked about the trees. I told him we'd already discussed the trees, and we wanted all the trees removed, all the trees that he planted. They go right up to the boardwalk today. I mean, matter of fact, some of these tree branches actually touch our boardwalk. They're that close. And he didn't understand why we would want to remove the trees. And I just said, look, they block the view. They're very close to the boardwalk. They're going to grow into the boardwalk. We didn't want them there, and you didn't have permission to plant them there. So we would like them to be removed. And we can plant dune grass where they were. We can talk about landscaping that you like and that we like, if that's something you want to do, but we are not interested in planting something that's going to get huge in that area, because we think we want the boardwalk to be exposed for the views. He didn't like that, still didn't like that. And so he asked me to go back to you guys and say, he says, fine, these are too close. I agree with you there. I'll take those out. Can we not leave some of these trees planted in this area here to give him some privacy from the boardwalk and to give the boardwalk some privacy from looking into his back deck? So I said I would take that to the group. But I also told him when he asked me, I was like, we have discussed this several times, and I'm pretty sure you're going to get a consensus on that based on the earlier conversations. And he said, look, I know that we shouldn't have planted them. I know they shouldn't be there. And if you want it at the end of this, if you want us to move them, we're going to move them. So that's what we need to decide today. What is our final on this? I don't think we're going to get any argument from the fence. It'll probably end up being a rope fence, which is fine by me and hopefully fine by all of you. And then nothing needs to happen really anywhere else.
Well, I'll go first that, I think for the reasons you said, all these trees need to come down for sure. Because it's not only just about the view, it's that is actual land that someday the water might come up to that revetment, and that land would be the only place someone could sit and watch the sunset, or just sit and sunbathe for that matter, because that might actually become beach someday, or pull up their kayak for 5 minutes while they go upstairs and go have lunch or whatever. Like once you put trees there, you're basically calling off all use or welcoming anyone to use it, because it's unusable. It just becomes, the only thing those trees are benefiting is that home. That's it. Those trees block the home to the east's view, blocks everybody's view coming down. It's ruining soil, it's liability. What if those trees fall over? I mean, we didn't put them there. We shouldn't have to worry about maintaining them or keeping them up and letting someone overtake land that belongs to the town. And if he's worried about privacy, he can move these trees over right on that side of that fence.
Yep, I told him that. And to be honest, we don't have to sit here and justify why we want the trees removed. If we want them removed, we want them removed. They shouldn't have been planted to begin, so. Yeah, I get it. I think there's some reasons for us wanting them to be removed. And I think one of the biggest ones is that there was no collaboration when they were planted. They're clearly way over on our property and they shouldn't have been planted.
It sets a terrible precedent,
Yeah,
period.
yeah. So I think we're being consistent. We asked the homeowner at 23 to remove trees. They were removed. We got lawyers involved with that. We're gonna be consistent with this. If people want to plant trees and get onto our property with revetments or with trees or items or whatever, we're gonna be consistent about refusing that. So I will get back with Tim and ask him to remove all of those trees and tell him the final on all of that, and that'll hopefully be done.
Thank you.
So, yeah, yep, no problem. Any other discussion on that one?
No.
Okay. The last one on the ongoing business is this pickleball striping at the community center. This isn't a hugely urgent thing, but we've been trying to get that fixed. What do we want to do with that one?
I just continue to reach out to, John at our paving. You know, he got back to me right away a few times. I don't know if it's really easy. As Joyce said, there's no urgency to it. And at some point, I'll just, again, say, just on the way we can do it. I mean, as Joyce said, I don't want to do it. I'm not sure it would be the best use of time. Time to do it, so.
It's just busy time for us,
Yeah.
right now, I think this is the big reason.
It probably is, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just.
And it's not as much as.
Right.
And my brother has 3 homes that want to have big, long driveways done, and he's been working on it for 6 weeks to 8 weeks. He's like, we have 3 people next to, come and do it, and they're all like, yeah, maybe the spring.
Well,
So,
we all want it done. It's our decision to get it done. Nothing's going to change on that front. So we'll get it done as soon as we can get it done.
okay, I'll keep after
Yeah,
it now.
okay, I'll just keep it in old business.
Just like the contract that they have.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's what it.
Okay, and that's, like you said, Joy, that's our property now anyway. Okay, I don't have any old business anymore. And new business, we sort of just folded it into some of these other categories already. Anybody else have any new business that wasn't on the agenda that we want to talk about?
No, I don't.
Any public comments from anyone in the room or on the web?
Barbara,
Barbara, Janet?
have anything to say, Barbara?
She's muted.
She's probably moving.
Yeah, she's probably not even in the room.
Boo, do you have anything to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Who, are you there?
okay, well, then, motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's pretty nice.